I am the writer and creator of 357 Magnum Opus. I'm here in Chicago, and I want you to follow Raze Chaos on YouTube.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and oh my goodness, Raze has got one of his favorite things in the world to do. This is so exciting because, you know, Raze does a lot of DC content. Raze does a lot of, well, he doesn't do as much Marvel content, but, you know, he doesn't do the pops, but he does do the Funko comic covers, and he does do the Bitty Pops when he has them. Whenever he gets something Marvel related, and it's not a freaking Funko Pop, because Raze hates bobbleheads, he's happy to do Marvel content. But the one thing he gets to do even less than that is independent comic content. And oh my goodness, have we got one. We have got one of the most criminally underappreciated indie comics of all time. We've got Tank Girl. Now, a lot of people might be shrugging their shoulders saying, oh yeah, I saw that movie. Yeah, that's, you don't know the half of it. Tank Girl is very, I mean, she came out in 1988, okay? And, I mean, she came out, I mean, you know, what's her face? Miley Cyrus goes on about how she came in like a wrecking ball. Tank Girl came in riding a tank.
Hi, feeling a little inadequate?
And she blew up. She was in a little independent magazine called Deadline in England, and it just grew. And just grew and grew, all the way through like the late 80s and early 90s. It is strange that it was as furiously popular as she was. I mean, that's why she got the movie she got.
Got something?
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, she was out there. She was even though she isn't actually a lesbian, she became a huge women's liberation icon, and a huge icon for sex workers. Just an icon in general for feminine power in general, because even though she was created by two men, they didn't really necessarily create a girl character.
Turbo booster!
They created a character, much like Red Sonja, who was never created as a woman. And if that seems a little confusing, yes.
Or better yet, that isn't what they want us to think. That way, we'll think what they think we might think, but actually...
Booger.
Huh?
Try not to speak.
The creator of Conan popped out stories like crazy. And, after a while, he was just kind of told, his people were telling him, like, hey, you make a lot of Conan books. Like, you know, if you wrote other books about other characters, you could probably sell those just as well. But we're feeding out one Conan story at a time. And so what he did was cross out the name Conan, put Red Sonja in its place, and sent that in. He did that with a couple of characters that were, basically a lot of them are considered Conan ripoffs, but they're not really ripoffs if they're created as Conan's creator created and just, okay, we'll scribble out the name, we'll put this other one up there. That way he could put out 4 different books on 4 different characters. And they'd all be equally good because, hey, they were all Conan stories.
Sir, if you want my opinion.
No, I don't.
So, Red Sonja being the gimmicky one that was, okay, it's a female character. He did not write it any differently. Red Sonja was just the badass that Conan was. And thankfully, they've maintained that. Red Sonja has never really been written as a woman. Like, she was written as Red Sonja. She's her own thing. And that's exactly what Tank Girl was.
It's really hard for me to play with myself in this thing.
See, the creators of Tank Girl basically were... actually, I'll have to come back to that because that goes into a little more depth. So for right now, Raze is going to go ahead and put this guy away, and yeah, we're going to get in depth.
You butt smear. What'd I tell you? Don't say butt smear. It's not becoming. Say asshole or dickwad.
Tank Girl, whose name is actually Rebecca Buck, is what they call her, is the name she goes by. I mean, people don't actually call her Tank Girl. Like, when in the comics and everything, she's Rebecca Buck. But going even deeper than that, her actual name is Fonzie Rebecca Buckley.
That cut looks painful.
I like pain.
She just shortens it to Rebecca Buck. And yeah, I think just that in itself is just absolutely hysterical.
What else do you like?
Hot oil. Vacuum attachments.
She was actually created as a bit of a hodgepodge. She was kind of basically her thing is her world is a post-apocalyptic Australia.
Hey, which of you gorgeous guys would like an oil change,
Don't be stupid. She's gonna bite it off.
And the crazy thing about it is it's set in the future. It's post-apocalyptic, but it's in Australia, but there were a ton of British pop culture. Oh, excuse me. There were a ton of pop culture references going on. Like contemporary, like main, current day, like not current day because obviously, but this was in the 90s. But current 90s pop culture references were going on in this post-apocalyptic Australia in the future.
The moment I feel teeth, you feel lead. Well, what are you waiting for?
I'm gonna need a microscope and tweezers. It's like a...
So it was a really stream of consciousness type situation, and absolutely shouldn't have worked. But it absolutely did. That had a lot to do with the creativity of her creators.
You're gonna have to stop this. You're really getting me hot.
What?
Her creators being Alan Martin, who was the writer, and the artist, who is Jamie Hewlett. Now, that name may sound familiar to some, because some may have sunshine in a bag. Yes, the same Jamie Hewlett that basically designed and helped create the virtual band of the Gorillaz. Yeah, and if you look at some of the Gorillaz videos, that's the same art style as the Tank Girl comics. In some cases, Tank Girl has even made appearances in their stuff. But yes, they created her, and part of the thing that they did with that was, obviously, there's music involved. And that is what Deadline, the book that they did, that was basically for underground musicians. And it was to help, hit that off-the-wall alternative punk scene that was going on in the 90s. They were the alternatives, and they really kind of pushed the envelope there, and this was a book geared directly to that audience. And that's where Tank Girl came in. And the name Tank Girl basically is because the creators, while they were creating, basically, after the Supergirl movie came out in the 1980s, they had always laughed at the fact that here you had basically a Superman character, and all he had to do was slap girl at the end, and it became something else. It became a second character, even though everything about it was still Superman. They just changed that last word to girl, and suddenly there was a whole new thing. So anytime they talked about anything or referred to anything that they wanted to create, they would automatically, basically, if they were trying to say, hey, yeah, it was like this, instead of saying, yeah, it's like this only, they would just basically describe whatever their main inspiration was and then slap girl at the end. And this kind of carried over to a comic strip they were trying to put together, where basically basically Jamie Hewitt had really intense feelings for a woman, and he wanted to write stories about her, and he basically was trying to make his own strip about her, and she, when the design came out and everything, the first thing everybody said was, she looks like a character from Love and Rockets. And so he started referring to and naming his character Rocket Girl. And eventually, the more he got into that, the less interested he became in the woman, I believe. I'm not quite sure on that end. But at some point, this character turned into something else, just slowly morphed into Tank Girl.
What took you so long?
And what is Tank Girl? Tank Girl is her own thing. 100%. You could call her a feminist icon. You could call her a chaotic feminist icon.
Now you're working my tits.
She is just her own thing. But what she absolutely is exactly what they're trying to turn Harley Quinn into now.
How much did they pay you to spy on us?
$2.15.
Shut up.
I can't wait for her to grow back. Tank Girl is the prototype Harley Quinn. She came out in '88. She came out years before Harley Quinn did. She was everything Harley Quinn couldn't be, because Harley Quinn, when she first came out, was a sidekick. She was there to help the boss out. And as she got more popular, she started branching out and gotten wilder. And now, since the whole emancipation of Harley Quinn, since they've had her drop Joker in the comics, she's expanded even more. She is becoming more and more like Tank Girl in every iteration. And that, yeah, I mean, there's no mistaking it. You watch you watch Tank Girl, you read Tank Girl stuff, it's so easy to basically say, oh, this is a bigger and badder Harley Quinn, with absolutely no Joker attachment. As a matter of fact, she doesn't seem to be attached to any man.
You know what I see?
No? What?
This big honking booger hanging out of your left nostril. If I was you, I'd use this finger to pick it out.
Yeah, she is 100% you know, she is 100% her own person, and Harley Quinn is growing into Tank Girl. So if you always thought you wanted a much more Harley Quinn, go pick up some of that old Tank Girl stuff, because that's exactly what you're gonna get. And it's what Harley Quinn is growing into. This is Harley Quinn's badass older sister.
I'm gonna hit you so hard, your children will be born bruised.
The one Harley Quinn looks up to and wishes she could be. Yeah, I said it, and I know that's insane because Harley Quinn is such a popular character now, but honestly, this is where I mean, it's impossible to watch this and not realize that Harley Quinn took a lot of inspiration from this. Maybe not initially when Paul Dini created her, but over time they've pulled from Tank Girl to put into what Harley Quinn is now. A lot of people like to say they're trying to make her like Deadpool. No, they're not. They're trying to make her Deadpool or Tank Girl.
What's the matter with you? Finish him! Oh, shit.
Don't tell me you're out of ammo. Don't move a muscle.
I just can't say enough about Tank Girl. I mean, I actually love this character. I love the fact that they've made a pop of her now. You know, the character is not dead. The character has lived on. As a matter of fact, one of the creators had even mentioned at one point that for a long time, don't know if this is still the case, but she, due to her, I guess, sexual liberation, so to speak, no, she is not a lesbian. Basically, Tank Girl is very free. She's sexually liberated. She is attracted to who she's attracted when she's attracted to them. You know, I mean, you just hit her in the right spot, and yeah, she you know, you get her mind going in that direction. That's just great, and she doesn't have a problem in the world letting you know that she's not shy, she's not ashamed, she's not anything. She knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to let you know either. And but at the same time, like, that liberation has for a long time, since like at least like 10 years in the 80s and 90s, there were pop-up lesbian gatherings in London that were referred to as Tank Girl parties. So, I mean, that was good enough for them. It's good enough for everybody else. But we should probably talk about the movie. I mean, I've been splicing little bits of the movie in there with it. The movie does have some relevance to the story. I mean, obviously, it's the Tank Girl movie. The Tank Girl movie is a cult classic nowadays, but at the time it was an absolute bomb. And part of the reason why it was a bomb, there were several problems with it, none of which was the cast, which they had Lori Petty as Tank Girl, which is, you couldn't have gotten any better. I mean, she pretty much was Tank Girl all the way down. From the look, every part of her, she was Tank Girl. And I mean, it was just absolutely perfect. And then, they had the character of Boog, I believe his name is. He doesn't really show it. You don't really see it too much in the movie, but that is her boyfriend. It's like, is he really her boyfriend or is he her pet? But he's a mutated kangaroo. So, oh, gee, could that be part of the problem? Is the main character has a relationship with a mutated kangaroo? He's not the only mutated kangaroo in this world. Like I said, it's post-apocalyptic. It is funny because he's actually described in the comic as the character design of the comic is he's basically her boyfriend, and he is basically willing to follow her anywhere and do anything she tells him to. And that is self-described in some cases. That's the way he was. At one point, he was a man. He was a mutated kangaroo, mutated into a man. And since you have, in several, I don't know, it's post-apocalyptic, you have other evolutionary creatures. I mean, it's the future. There's science is taken forward. The cute thing, and this isn't actually in the movie, this is in the comic. They actually have him, before he gets involved with Tank Girl and all that other stuff, he is actually a toy designer. He is a former toy designer, and he was so good, he used to describe his toy designs as he used to create products that Santa Claus would kill a reindeer for. And that gives you a taste of what the comic book was about. But yeah, in the movie they went really different. The villain in the movie was Malcolm McDowell, which there are very few times when you put Malcolm McDowell as the villain in your movie and it goes south.
Say it. Just say, I won.
I won.
No! Say, I won.
I won!
It wasn't his strongest villain, I will say, but at the same time, he's Malcolm McDowell. What are you gonna do? One of the other characters in the as far as the mutated kangaroos, one of the people in that gang of Rippers is actually played by Ice-T.
It's a trap.
What if they want us to think it's a trap, but it's really not? That way, when we get there, it could still be one. Or better yet, what if...
Booger.
Huh?
Why don't you make yourself useful and go and choke on something?
And it doesn't matter what kind of prosthetics you put on that man. Ice-T is Ice-T, and you do not mistake him for anything. But yeah, they changed a lot as far as the move for the comic to the movie. They didn't change some of the things that they changed hurt it, and some of the things that they didn't change hurt it. But it was really the worst time for the movie to bomb, because the creators didn't really come out feeling satisfied with the movie. A lot of times they just really don't even like talking about it. And the thing is Tank Girl was already starting to start seeing diminishing returns. So she was getting a more selective audience, I guess you'd say. You were getting the diehard fans. And when you cull your mass following, which, she was all the craze, and then, slowly the part-timers start drifting away, and then you get that hardcore fan base. And then the movie came out. And the movie was it was Tank Girl, but they changed so many things because so many things had to be explained for the movie that you don't necessarily have to explain in comics. I mean, you're just in the world. You don't have to explain the world all at once. You can do it slowly. You give slow reveals. But in this case, it's like, okay, well, she has to be this, and we've got to show you how she gets her tank, and we have to, it's just like, boom! It's just like, very formulaic as far as we have to tell the story this way. And being as outlandish as the character is, that didn't really fit well. And she's a character that was well before her time. I mean, like I said, Harley Quinn is growing into her because, Harley Quinn is evolving into her and not just becoming her because, it's still like, she's still got a ways to go. And that presents the other problem. The movie came out in 92, I want to say. No. Harley Quinn came out in 92. The movie came out in 94, 95. And, the movie came out and sales were so low on Deadline that's 95 is the year that they stopped publication. They went from 88 to 95. And going from wild sales to almost nothing, going low enough to actually cancel the book. And, of course, the hardcore Tank Girl fans came to see this movie and came away thinking, what in the hell? This isn't what we came to see. So it was really like a blow to the Tank Girl fans who were, essentially in a position where they should have been able to solidify. It just basically scattered them. And they did try, I know they tried to wrap Tank Girl up, and they tried to use what little leverage they had from the movie, which the movie was a bomb. They did do like one or two miniseries that went into Vertigo imprint on DC, but that really didn't even, when you've got people that are looking at this new comic called Tank Girl, but referring to the movie, that's not what they wanted. The same problem that the original comic book fans had going to the movie. They were just like, no, this feels like Tank Girl, but it's not. And, since then, thankfully, the movie has grown its own cult status. So there's always been Tank Girl out there. She's been one of those background characters that, very niche people would go for. Obviously, with the petering out of Tank Girl, the creators went their own way. James Hewlett went on to create the Gorillas and do his thing. But then in 2007, I believe it was 2007, they got back together. And they started putting their heads together, and they started working on some Tank Girl stuff. And they put out your random miniseries, your one-shots every once in a while. Slowly regaining their audience. And it has built up. So much so that in 2019, get this, Margot Robbie's production company had actually gotten the rights to Tank Girl and were planning to do a relaunch, a revamp of Tank Girl and bring her to the modern audience. But then COVID hit, bam, they put it on the shelf. They said, we'll come back to it later. And they haven't yet, obviously. It's still possible, I suppose. But since MGM has actually been bought out, the purchasing of MGM caused another transfer of ownership. So Tank Girl is now owned elsewhere. And it's like, can Margot Robbie make another one? Will they make another one? Or do they even need to? Revisit that movie. Revisit those books. Because they've started making them again. In 2017, 2018, they started doing. That's part of the reason Margot Robbie got into it. Was because of the resurgence of the comic books. And there has pretty much been at least a miniseries wrapping up or beginning at any given time since then. And yeah, she's growing. Being somebody who goes to comic book conventions a lot, Raze always sees, I want to say, Raze can think of at least of 2 cosplayers that cosplayed Tank Girl at C2E2 on 2 different years. And of course, it's one of those things that makes Raze stop and be like, oh my God, it's Tank Girl. And you know who it's never like? It's never like Lori Petty's Tank Girl from the movie. It's always comic book themed. I mean, you look at the Harley Quinn cosplayers that are everywhere, and you get all different versions. You get the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. You get the comic book Harley Quinn. You get the cartoon Harley Quinn. You get all these different versions of her. But yeah, finding one Tank Girl, and it's almost always, at least everyone that Raze has ever seen, has not been based around Lori Petty. So that fan base is growing, and Raze is warning you to watch out, because if you think Harley Quinn is fun, the Tank Girl is Harley Quinn without the safety on.
Hate wasting good beer for nothing.
Tank Girl is Harley Quinn who lives and rides in a freaking tank. So, do with that what you will. But yeah, Raze has really kind of gone on about this. And, I mean, this is really a hodgepodge, and this is absolutely amazing. And, we're going to go ahead, and we have got to take this thing out, and we have got to take a look at this. As odd as it is for Raze to only be doing like one character, the fact that she was a pop ride and a deluxe character is pretty much what made it like, okay, yeah, this can be a Friday video. Yeah, and this absolutely deserved to be, because this is one of those things that Raze just really had plenty to say as far as this pop goes, and the fact that they even made it. You know, Raze loves his independent. You know, Raze loves his comics, and this is one that has been sorely underrated for way too long. This does appear to be quite a bit of. Basically, Raze looks at this, and Raze can see inspiration from both the movie and the comic. So it's really kind of hard to distinguish which one they're making of. If Raze had to guess, he would say the movie, just because Lori Petty didn't really shave her head down quite as much as the comic book Tank Girl does. Yeah, other than that, like, that's really the only distinguishing thing, because there are obviously some bits are from the movie, some bits are from the comic, some of the designs. There was so much going on here with this tank. I mean, good God, this is absolutely awesome. And Raze hasn't even mentioned the soundtrack. Oh my God, the soundtrack is so awesome. Funnily enough, the soundtrack for the movie was actually assembled by Courtney Love. And, I mean, if you don't know who Courtney Love is, if the lead singer of Hole helps you out, I mean, honestly, I think she's more famous for another reason. But she assembled the soundtrack for the Tank Girl movie. And, I mean, it really reflects a lot of one of the things... trying to think of some of the people that Courtney Love assembled in there. You had Bjork, who did two songs. She had one song in the movie. She had two songs in the movie. One of which was actually going to be her single at the time, and it was actually going to be promoting the movie at the same time. But yeah, when the movie went south, she didn't want to be associated with it. So any clips or any references to Tank Girl were taken out of the music video. So yeah, that didn't happen. But like Devo basically redid a version of Girl You Want, and then they did another song on the soundtrack, and you had like L7. Obviously, you had Hole of Courtney Love is like putting this all together, doing songs on there, and yeah, that actually charted a little bit. I mean, not too high, but like I want to say that the soundtrack actually did better than the movie, which really isn't saying much because it barely charted. But I mean, the movie didn't do well at all. I think it didn't even make like half of what it cost to actually make the movie. But speaking of, you know, Devo's Girl You Want, I think that is like another great parallel. If Tank Girl is Devo's Girl You Want, then I'm Just a Girl by No Doubt is Harley Quinn. Like, that's how similar but different they are. And as much as I would love, I mean, I would have absolutely loved if Margot Robbie had went ahead and played Tank Girl. I'd love to see Samara Weaving do her. But I also love Lori Petty in this. It always cracks me up when people be like, oh, the girl from League of Their Own. And I'm always just kind of like, people should be saying, oh, that's Tank Girl. But yeah, Raze has gone on and on and on about the detail in this pop. Oh, she's even holding a cigarette. That's absolutely so cool. God, that's so good. But yeah, as far as, you know, Raze being a comic book fan and loving independent comics, this is actually, if Raze hadn't gotten this now, this absolutely would have been a grail for him. Personal grail. I don't know if this is actually going to go up. It should. It absolutely should go up in value because of who she is. And I am waiting for another Tank Girl explosion. I want this character to come back in a big way, and Raze is just waiting for it. Raze is definitely ready. He's just waiting until the world's ready for it. But yeah. So yeah, Raze is gonna go ahead and get out of here now. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Tank Girl, and I hope it encourages you to go out and check more out. She's not for the squeamish. She's not for the kids. That's for damn sure. I mean, part of the reason why her downfall was like when she came out, you know, she was dwindling around, you know, 95. And Harley Quinn came out in 92. So why would people be leaning towards Tank Girl, who's like the sharp edge, when you've got a kid-friendly version in Harley Quinn, who's essentially very, very similar character? So if you're a Harley Quinn fan and you want more, not that you have any shortage of Harley Quinn stuff, if you want a rougher, edgier Harley Quinn, this is who she is. This is where you go to. If you think Harley Quinn's too soft, you really need to be checking out Tank Girl. Yeah, okay. Raze is gonna go ahead and let you get out of here now. Raze has been holding some people hostage, talking about Tank Girl. Nobody knows who she is. And if you do actually know who Tank Girl is, I love ya. So yeah, but yeah, let me know if you know about Tank Girl. Let me know if you are a big fan, or if you're just a fan of the movie and just loved the movie and you're part of that cult following. It's all good. It's all cool, because I mean, at this point, it's so far back in the past that even though they were a mismatch at the time, they basically have gotten to that point where, you know, you've got Batman animated series, and then you've got like the darker Batman movies. There is characters for all ages, And yeah, Tank Girl's never really dipped below a rated R status, but the comics are basically are less for mass consumption than the movie is. But yeah. Okay, we're gonna stop. Let me know in the comments how much Tank Girl you followed, whether you're a movie fan, whether you're a comic book fan, whether you're a fan of both of them. And if you do actually end up checking her out and fall in love with her, as I think everybody should, come back and let me know that you did. I mean, Raze would love to hear about it. Give me some Tank Girl. Raze doesn't get enough Tank Girl. Give me some more Tank Girl. No matter what you do, never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.